you figure out I forgot to record something, just let me know because I need to do a live transcript. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Sorry, so I got it. So so the stack crunch that I'm talking about here looks like Microsoft Excel, where you can import data, export data. They will draw graphs for you. They will calculate all the mean, median, mode, and all those things for you. So it's very easy and it's very user friendly. It's it's click click click. So pretty easy for you guys. So and I will send you, and there's notes, and the notes inside will teach you where to go for for this case and to graph these and to import data. I will show it to you. Don't forget on Wednesday we meet in the computer lab on campus, and that is the time you also can learn how to use those software I'm teaching you. Okay. Prereq, these are the prereq which I think you guys talk about. You guys can read through it. Grading, attendance is 10%, midterm is 35%, homework is 20%, final is 35%. So you only got 2 tests, your midterm test and your final test in this class. We'll talk more about your attendance, homework, and your final and your tests here. Your grading scales is A, B, C, D, F, typical, 90, 80. So this is pretty much the same as almost all the classes here. Does anyone have any questions for me before we continue with class meeting? Do you guys have the textbook? Anyone have a textbook here? Anyone have a textbook or any access code? Anyone bought anything from the from a bookstore?
I just bought the access code only, but I didn't buy the textbook.
Tevan, can you share it to? Can you have your video on and share it to the? Anyone?
Oh, give me a second.
Yep.
You want me to share
the code? Yep.
Access code.
Lawrence, yep. Lawrence, you have one. What do you have? Lawrence, can you show it? Yep. Since Lawrence has his camera on. Yep, just show it on the camera like that. Okay. Yep. So what Lawrence has is the book. So he bought the whole bundle with the book, which is very good. You have to get a 3-ring binder to bind it. Do you come with a little cardboard? Yep, so that is the access code. So I think Tavan, if you just buy the access, can you show that again, Lawrence, that cardboard? Yep, so this is the access code by itself. Some of you ask me which one to buy. You can either buy that code by itself, which is I think is $90 or $100, or you can buy the whole bundle like what Lawrence did, the textbook with the access code like $130, $140. So it's up to you what. Yep, Anna has book. Yep, it's up to you what you want to do with it. Because some of you want to save the $40, just buy the access code. Tevan, you have the access code, right? Just the access code by itself.
Yeah, I do.
Can you don't mind to share it with just like what Lawrence did?
Yeah, it's just give me a second.
Yep. There you go.
I think my camera. Give me a second.
Yep. So
something is.
So if you're asking which one to do, I would highly suggest you to buy just the access code, because that will be save some money. Yep. Now I got see you. Can you show me the access code?
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Just show it. Oh.
Light. It's a little bit.
No, you're fine. There you go. Yep. This is good. Yep. So she just bought this access code by itself, which is good. So this is cheaper than what Lawrence have, the book bundle thing. So no matter which one you do is up to you. How often do we use a textbook? Not really, because if you bought the access code, it comes with the ebook. You can still use the textbook, which is the ebook in this case. So up to you what you guys want to do. Thank you, Tevan. You good? Yep. You can. Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, it's that one is the access code. It's not a book. The book is like what Lawrence says. The whole is a book. Okay. So let's continue. Anyone have any questions for me? So we're going to talk about class meetings. So we are having Zoom meeting every Monday from 4:30 to 5:50. And then we will meet on campus every Wednesday in BHCC 108 is a computer lab. Now, some students ask that, can I bring my laptop for this BHCC 108? I will say, yes, if you want to use your laptop, do bring it on Wednesday for the on-campus meeting. BHCC is in biohealth science, the new building, which is right behind the library. So I don't know some people where BHCC is. So you can use your own laptop if you has it. So bring along your laptop. If you don't have a laptop, there is a laptop over there that you can rent or you can borrow, just in the classroom. So so because we're using some computer software, so I would recommend if you have a laptop, bring it. That would be really good. Otherwise, just use a laptop in the school. For the Zoom meetings, I'm recording all the Zoom meetings. So all the Zoom meetings will be posted in YouTube as a private link, and that link is actually will upload to D2L. So what happens to the private link means if you go to YouTube and search David Liu Elementary Stats Zoom meeting, you won't able to find anything because that is all private. It's all private. The only way you can access to it is through the link, and it's posted in D2L. So that's the only way you can find the YouTube the Zoom video in this case. Both of this Zoom and the class meeting, the attendance is mandatory. And I will count 20 attendance, excluding the test, finals, and holidays. And this 20 attendance will be 10% towards the final grade. If I'm not mistaken, we are meeting around 30 times in this whole semester, around 30. So you will get 10 freebies. So if you didn't show up in my class in 10 times, it's fine. Around 30, I think we get around 30 in this case. How do I take attendance? It's very easy for Zoom. What you guys need to do is in the chat room, just type present. So go ahead, you guys. It's attendance time. So go to the chat room and type present and enter. Yep, there you go. So this is how I do attendance. That's the reason why I want you guys to change your name to your real name, because then this is all going to be recorded for me. So when I go back, I can take attendance in this case by looking at your name. So that's easy. So that's Zoom. That's how I take attendance. For the on campus, I just go through the list. I just read Lawrence here, Tevin here, like normal class time. So so that will be and I will take attendance, very important. If you are unable to come to my class, either Zoom or the on-campus one, just send me an email. And if you have any documentations, like when the doctor, you're sick, doctor notes or jury notes or any notes that you have, you can always scan it or take a picture of it and upload to me and tell me you're not able to attend my classes. Then I will examine it. So that means I won't count towards the trend. I won't count towards that you're not allowed here. So that means it is part of your 20 attendance in this case. So make sure you guys, if you didn't show up to my class, make sure you do have some, not just an email saying that you're sick, but make sure you have some evidence on top of it. Okay. Otherwise, you get around 10 freebies for the attendance. Notes, there are 2 sets of notes that are posted in D2L. The first set of notes is just a normal notes where you will, it's just a normal plain notes without any instructor's key and everything. The other one is the instructor notes where the key is there. So I would also suggest you guys to look at the instructor notes if you are missing my class or if you need help. They're all posted in D2L. Besides, there are videos also posted in D2L. Some videos are from YouTube. Some videos are created by me. And then also the Zoom link is also posted in D2L. So there's a lot of stuff in D2L. So once we go through this syllabus, I will go to D2L and show you all these notes and everything. Online homework, MyStatLab is the online homework. So you can go into any computers and you can, as long as internet, you can register and start working on your homework. All your online homework is due on Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. There are no homework due this Wednesday, so next Wednesday is where your homework first started. So whatever I teach this week, which is chapter 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, will be due on Wednesday. And then what we did on Tuesday, next will be due on Wednesday. So we'll due on Wednesday. And what I did the following week will be due on the following Wednesday. So it's like, you know, every Wednesday by midnight is your homework due. This is your extra credit, so I won't give you any extra credit. This is the only one. I will drop 2 of your lowest online homework score. So, so this is for everyone. So do not ask for extra credit in this class. This online homework is 20% towards your total grade. What website you go is costcompass.com. This is the website you go, and you need this ID 79974 to register for my class. Okay, I will show to you how to do this. We talk about StatCrunch. It's very similar to Excel, so it's free as long as you have the MyStatLab. Tests. So both tests are on campus since we meet on Wednesday. So both tests will be on Wednesday. It will be in BHCC 108, the same classroom that we have on Wednesday. Both midterms and your finals is 35% of your final grade each. Mostly your test is graded by your work shown. So make sure that you show your work. If you don't show me any work, although your answer is correct, you get 0. So some of the work you have to show. You are allowed to use your calculator and StatCrunch during the test time. What is your test looks like? Your test start up with 10 multiple choice questions and only 1 correct answer in this case, and it worth 1 point each. And this multiple choice, you do not need to show any work. So make sure when you guys do my multiple choice question here, when you circle your answer, make sure you circle 1 answer. If you circle multiple answers, I will mark you wrong. And then on top of this 10 multiple choice, you have 4 to 5 open-ended questions. So this one, you have to show me your work to receive your full credits. So I highly recommend you guys to do the open-ended question part, the 4 to 5 open-ended questions first before you go do your multiple choice, because the 4 to 5 open-ended questions worth like 40, 50 points. So, and around 40, 50 points. And then when you finish that, if you're running out of time, then the multiple choice, you can actually just go for all B's or all C's, you know, at least you will get some points there. So I would recommend you guys to do the open-ended question part first. There are no retake, no redo, no late test, and no extra credit given the test. So do not ask for that. And the test will be administered in BHCC 108 from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. And this is the midterm. So the midterms cover chapter 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. We don't do cover chapter 4 we skip. It's going to be on Wednesday, October 13, and then the finals will be 7, 8, 9, and 10. It'll be on Wednesday, December 15. So I would recommend you guys to take out your cell phone or your calendars to set this time in there, so that you won't miss your midterm or your finals, because it's 35%, so it's 3-letter grades. So if you miss one of my tests, I would recommend you to just withdraw from my class, because you're going to get F in class. So I would recommend you guys to put this in your calendar, so to remind you guys. And I will remind you guys when the test is close, like when October comes, I will remind you guys your midterm is in 2 weeks, so you don't get late or forget about it. Now, since we're gonna meet in on campus on every Wednesday, so for the COVID-19 part, you have to wear a mask, so or shield or both. So I would no matter you're vaccinated or not, you still need to wear the mask or the shield to protect yourself. And then also when you guys sit, make sure you guys separate seating. So that means don't sit too close to each other. And then I also want you guys to sit on the same spot. That means that I don't want you to move around. So that means that like on Wednesday, when you pick that spot, you stick with that spot. I don't want you on the next week, you go somewhere else. Okay, so make sure you guys stick with the same seating here. So that the reason why is because then if something happens, we know what's going on. And if you feel like you're tested positive or you have symptoms or stuff like that, do not come to class. Please don't come to class. So just email me and let me know about that, and then I'll talk to you what's going on. So this, if you are tested positive with COVID-19 or have some symptoms, this is a good place. All these little they will tell you what to do. Like there are some help here. For example, is they got student resources for the COVID-19 response. So if you can, maybe you can get some money back if you, things like that. So I would recommend if you tested positive for COVID-19 or have a symptom of COVID-19, please read through this. And then this is something that I will, and this is the submit of illness. This is where you click to respond for the COVID-19 illness. And this is all very confidential and private, so no one knows about it. I won't share this. This is very important. Does anyone have any questions so far with the test, COVID-19? Anyone have any questions for me? Attendance, the syllabus question? No? Don't be shy, just ask me. And accommodations, students who have disability, please go to the access services, which is this number, to get accommodations. Once I receive the accommodations, then I will allow to have double the time or 1.5 times for the test. So make sure you get the accommodations ready for me. Usually the access services will send it to you. Code of conduct, please go through the student's handbook to figure out all the disciplines and all those, what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. For the classroom, since we meet in the computer lab, so please, when you go to classroom, silence your cell phone. Don't bring your friends, no visitors allowed. Don't bring your guns, no firearms allowed on campus. For drinks and food, I'm okay with drinks. I mean, you can have water, you can have, just be careful because you're with laptops and electronic stuff. So water and coffee and those things. Make sure you guys have a lid on it, like a bottle has a cover on it so that you won't spill. Again, it's electronic, it's laptop. Don't bring food. Don't bring your food to my classroom. For drinks, make sure you have not an open can, okay, just everything closed. If there is a spillage, make sure you clean up for yourself and make sure you put that water or that drink far away from your computer or far away from the laptop, because it will, I don't want you to pay extra for the laptop here. The rest is pretty much, you can read through it. We can talk about homework. So how many homeworks do I assign a week? 2 to 3. So some of you asked me how many homeworks is due every week. 2 or 3 homeworks. Usually the starting point, the first few chapters, the homework is easy. So one section is take you 30 to 40 minutes. But then when you go on to the later chapter, like 7, 8, 9, the last few chapters there, one section will take you an hour to an hour and a half. So I will thinking about 2 to 3 hours a week to do your homework. Okay, that is what I will suggest for homework. 2 to 3 hours a week, not a day, a week, to do your homework on your online homework. And when test comes, probably around 1 or 2 hours to study for your test in this case. So make sure you need to get your homework, everything, because you got another classes, right? So they have homeworks too. So and I just want to point out is do not wait till the last minute to finish your homework. But some students do that and they will be like, they always miss my homework. So then after that, they'll do bad in the test. There are some helps you can get. So if I am around, definitely please contact me for help. During my office hours or some other times if I'm free. If I'm not around to help you, use the Math Resource Center, because all the peer tutoring, these are all free. And then utilize, not the watch it should be utilized. There is some help button in the online homework that will help you. I will show you where is all those things is. So if you have any questions, please come and talk to me. Okay, that's very important. So do you have any questions for me here so far? Anyone have any questions? Right, so this is the syllabus. So again, first week has no homework. So this chapter 1 homework will be due on Wednesday, the next second week, and the second week will be due on the 3rd week, and the 3rd will do the 4th week. Yes.
Doc, I have a question.
Lawrence?
Could you please speak more to the online registration? You talked about registering for your course again.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
So
I will talk about it, but I will go through it with you guys.
Okay.
Yep. This is the syllabus. I will go through with everyone with you. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go through that. So so like this is three classes, 3 sections that is due next week. This is 2. Sometimes 1, sometimes 2, sometimes depends on the holiday. Sometimes the holiday on Monday, so I cannot meet on Monday. We'll meet on Wednesday. There's one thing I want to point out to you here is on not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, I have something personal going on, so there will be no class for me for this stats class. So on Wednesday, September 1st, there's no class. So you do have to self-study section 2.2, a histogram. What I mean by self-study here means that I will give you some my old Zoom videos that I have from my last semester Zoom class. So you just need to watch that and then start to self-study. So read the textbook, then start working on your homework in this case. Okay, so these are the schedule here. So the first test is on Wednesday. Now the only difference here is that this section 6.4 is not due on that week 9 Wednesday. This is due on Tuesday, the October 12th. So the day before the test. The reason why is because 6.4 will be in your test 1, and if you didn't do 6.4 homework, you probably will lose some points in the test because you probably will not get this. So I would recommend you guys to, if you have a test, if the test was right before the class, so the homework is due on the time. Okay, and same thing with the last section here, chapter 10. These 2 will be due on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So so these are the exceptions homework here, the last 2 homework here, and chapter 6.4 is the homework that is due on Tuesday, but the rest of them is due on Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Anyone have any questions? And you see that one of them is all spread out a little bit here is because these are a little bit difficult sections. That's why we can only cover 1 section a week. And the last thing is the important dates. Those are all the important dates that we don't have class. So you can put it in your calendar. Only important dates that we have class is November 29, which is Monday. We have class on that day. This day is the last day to withdraw. So you can so if you're not doing well in the class, you're going to D or an F, please withdraw by 29th, November 29th on the Monday. Then you won't affect your GPA and you won't be in the transcript. You'll be in your transcript as a W instead of a D and an F. The rest of this is no class. So although we don't meet on Tuesday, Thursday, so like September 14, you do not need to ask. This is for the whole North Hennepin College classes. So we don't have class on those days. So these are our teachers meeting day. So those are the days that we don't have class. So for all North Hennepin colleges classes. Questions so far with this?
So on Wednesday, should we bring our access code with us, or should we?
If you need help, if you need help with registering to MyStatLab, then bring it.
Okay.
If you can go through it without without my help, then you do not need to.
Okay.
So this Wednesday, I recommend if you bring a laptop. If you cannot register or have problem registering to MyStatLab, just bring it over and bring your code over, and I will help you with it. Otherwise, if you have no problems, then we just then you didn't bring a laptop. Anyone have any questions for me with this syllabus? Okay, so I'm going to talk about D2L here, and then we'll talk about MyStatLab. Okay, Lawrence, for your homework here. So the D2L, we're going to do elementary stats. So this is the class you will be. So click on it. So what you see first is under announcement here. So this announcement will tell you like here how you register to MyStatLab. There's a PDF handouts here, so you can actually look at the handouts to figure out how to register to MyStatLab. And then this is a Zoom link that you guys been. This one, today's Zoom is right here. So every Mondays is the same Zoom link. And then if I cancel class, if I want to post the videos of the Zoom that we have recorded today, they're all under announcement here. So make sure you guys check this announcements page quite often, because like next following Wednesday, I will be gone. So I will put an announcement that September 1st, there's no class. Under materials content, this is where all the paperwork will be, like syllabus. So if you misplace my syllabus or you want an extra copy of the syllabus, you can get it from here. The data, you can skip it. You don't have to worry about the data. Notes, this is the notes that I told you before, that it is the blank notes. So if you want a copy of this is the notes that we will be using. So this is pretty empty here. So so this is the notes that we'll be using in class. And also if you go under the instructor notes, which is what I recommend you to do, this is where you will get the whole fill up the notes that you fill in. So with all the examples and all these things. So this is if you miss my class, I would recommend you to do this. And all these examples come from your homework. So if you have any problems when you do your online homework, the first place I will call you to is go to the instructor notes and look at them. And they are very similar to the questions. They just change the numbers or change the scenario. Instead of doing voltage, maybe they do something else. So very similar to your homework. So I would recommend you we will go through these notes together in class. So that's under instructor notes. So we got syllabus notes, instructor notes. These videos will be the videos for if you watch the video. So if you click on the chapter 1 link videos. So these are the videos that comes from the Pearson, which is come from a textbook. And this is come from the YouTube. So I would really highly recommend you to watch the YouTube one, because it's actually from some person that record this for like 30 minutes and is following exactly the same as our textbook, because he used the same textbook as we do. So that's why I would recommend you to watch the YouTube, especially when you have to self-learn it yourself. That would be something I would recommend you to watch. So this is under videos, and then the last one is probably the review for your tests. Yep. So this one is empty, is because when tests comes very close by, I will post a review for the test here for the midterm and your finals, so we can go through that together in class. So this is all under materials and under content. Okay. And then the last thing in D2L is under assessment and grades. So this is where your grade will be at. So I'll show it to you. So your grade will look something like this, where you will see a % of grade. What is your grade you get here for your overall grade here? And then your midterm is 35%. Your online homework is 20%. This is all your online homework you have to do. And then final is 35%. And then the attendance that I will change the dates here. So that's the attendance that I will put in there. And so out of this homework here, I will drop 2 of the lowest online homework. So you will see drop sometimes because that is the lowest one. So this is the grade that I will entering. So if I make any mistakes entering your grade, sometimes instead of 100, I give you 10 or I give you 1. I forgot to put the zeros. Remind me, you say, hey, David, you know what? Online homework 1.2 should be 100%. You only give me 1% or 10%. So let me know about it, and I will quickly change it back for you. Because I have a lot of students and I make mistakes when I put grades. So if I have any mistakes, just email me and correct. Okay. Anyone have any questions with D2L here? So again, D2L has 3. 1 is a grade book, which is under assessment and grades. 2 is under material and content. This is where you will get the syllabus, the notes, the videos. And then right on the beginning of the D2L, the announcement is where you will get announcement from me. And sometimes I will email you guys some stuff. Anyone have any questions with the D2L before we go to the MyStatLab? No? If you have, you talk about it for your course. Yep. Yep. Okay. So so now we're gonna go to the homework here. So the online homework. So the website you go is mlm.pearson.com. Or if you don't want to use that, you can go to costcompass.com. So no matter which one you use, you will get into this website. Make sure you put under favorite because you'll be using this the whole semester. So what you need to do first class is to register for the class. So you register under student. And then make sure you have the course ID. The course ID is in the syllabus, which is the Liu 79974. Okay. And make sure you have an email address. I would recommend you to use the college email address if you haven't signed up for the Pearson yet, and register. So the first thing they ask you is the course ID. So it will be Liu something. What was that? 79974. No space. 79974. 79974. You will see my name pop out. Math 1130 elementary stats. This is my name, Kim Liu. This is my real original name. So if you have a Pearson account, you can sign up with the username and password that you have. If you forget it, just click on here. If you do have Pearson from your business or your chemistry or something, you know, I do not know, maybe you have an account with Pearson before. If you do not have an account with Pearson, you just create it and they will ask you for the email. And make sure this email, I recommend you to use the school email address, not the Yahoo or the Gmail or whatever account that you have. The reason why is because when I reply back to you, sometimes it went to your spam box if you use your Yahoo or Gmail. So I would recommend you guys to use the North Hennepin email address so that you won't go to your spam box. Just, you know, normal style that you go through it, just, you know, read through it. And then once you finish creating an account, so this is the nitty gritty here. This how do you pay for this? Okay, so one, if you bought the access code like Lawrence and Tevan has, then you just click on the access code here and then you type in the access code, which is in that little cardboard that you have. So that is how you buy it. If you want to save some money and buy it from Pearson, you can either pay this amount or this amount. I want to tell you that if you want to pay one of this amount, your financial aid will not cover it. Okay, so if you are under financial aid, I will recommend you just buy it from the bookstore. But if you don't have a financial aid, then I recommend you to use one of this. What is the difference? This is only good for 18 weeks. So this is only good for one semester. This, which is $80, $35 more, $115. This is good for 2 years. So hopefully you will pass my class in this semester. So if you fail my class and you want to retake this class, then this will be the good choice because you can. This is good for 2 years. This is only good for one semester. So so that is difference, which is $80. I don't know how much do you pay. Tevan, do you know how much you pay for your access code is?
I think it was like 44 something.
That cheap?
Oh, give me a second. I think that one is another class.
Yeah, 44 is really cheap. I think it's more.
Oh, I think it's $44.99 because I checked online before, so it said $44.99.
Oh,
that's why. So that's why I asked you, like, should I buy the course or like the book?
Wow, if it's if it's $50, I'll just get it's cheaper to get a code over there. Yeah, I was shocked when you said $50. I thought it's gonna be like $80 or $90. So anyway, so you can ask how much is it from the bookstore. I don't know how much what Tevan says around $50. If it's $50, I will buy it because it's cheaper than over here. Okay, I think the book by itself, Lawrence, do you know how much you pay for your book, the bundle? You have to unmute yourself. Press spacebar. Hold on to your spacebar. Unmute yourself. It's like hundreds of dollars, I know. But anyway, so I just want to point to you, there are some places for you to save money. But if you, yep,
Can
Lawrence.
you hear me now? I paid 170.
Yep, Lawrence, I can hear you.
170.
170.
Yep.
Okay, so Lawrence says 170 for the bundle and the access code. So I would recommend this is way cheaper than 170, right? And so Lawrence, if you want to return back the book, make sure you have the receipt with you, and then just get the access code like Taman has for $50. Hopefully it's $50. You save hundreds of dollars really for just the textbook. Okay. Now for those students who are still, undecided, still waiting for your money, for your paycheck, for all those things, for your financial aid, maybe you're waiting for it. Then you see right underneath here, this is where you get free access for two weeks, 14 days. And when you click on that little, see the thing underneath here, the little, so I would recommend you guys to, if you're still waiting for your access code, your money or anything, or your financial aids, just click on that one so you get 2 weeks for free. And you're still able to go use the ebook. You can still do your homework and do everything for 2 weeks until it expired. Then you put in your access code or your buy it from here. So that will be your first homework for me for this week, is to register to Pearson. For the option here, if you have access code, use the access code. If you want to buy it through the you have to use your credit card and through this website over here, or go to the bookstore. Since $50 is really good deal, I would recommend you to buy the $50 one. And then otherwise, just if you're waiting for your money or financial aid, just click on here and we'll automatically good for 2 weeks. You guys okay here with this? Any questions with the registration and all this access code and everything?
I have a question. So what for the online homework, do we need just a course compass or the Pearson?
Yeah, it's right here. I'll show it to you. Okay. So once you finish registering all this, so what you do is now you start doing your homework. So you will go back to course compass. I have it all here. There you go. So you will go to course compass, which is, let me just show it to you. Which is this one. Now you sign in. So you register once and then you sign in. And once you sign in, you put in your username and your password that you have created or you use, and you sign in. And you will see this comes up, this one, Math 1130 Elementary Steps. So click on the title, don't click on everywhere, just click on the title. And you will get to this. This is the platform of Course Compass. It looks something like this. Okay. So what is in here is, I usually don't use the announcement here. I use it in D2L. So assignment is the one that you will use. So assignment is the homework. So these are all the homework and the due dates. So they're all Wednesday and they're all by midnight. And how do you do your homework is you just click on it and you can start working on it. When you do your homework, you just hit submit to check answer, to submit your answer. You do not need to print out. You do not need to email me or anything, because once you hit check answer, if it's correct, automatically your end and my end will see points. Okay. So if you have a multiple choice question, you got 2 choices. You got 2 chances. Okay. Let's say that I just purposely say it's wrong. This is wrong. Let's say this is okay, wrong. Oh, maybe 3 choices. So some of them you have 3 choices. Okay, so the answer is AD. So what happens? This is wrong. Right? You got 3 choices, 3 chances. Now what happened is that you can continue to read. So you get no points, and let me see. Maybe this one. I didn't read through it, so I just don't do what. Oh, okay. So what happened is that let's go back to question 1. So this question you got only partially right, because the first question you answered wrong. The second question you answered right. So you got a partially right. So you only get half of the point. See that? So actually you can get all the answers 100%, all your 100% by doing try again. You see the try again? Okay, so just look at the question here. Just kind of want you to just read through the question and I'll hit try again. This is something I will also want you guys to do because they will give you all the points back. So very similar, right? Very similar. So this is actually I think it's this two. And I think this is this one. Maybe this. Okay, so what happened is, do you still remember I got half of the point? So now I got both answers correct now. And I got a full point. So what I want to point out to you guys is that for this StatCrunch, for this MyStatLab, you can answer all the questions 100% if you say try again. Now, if you try again here, you can try again, but then they will ask you which one you want. You definitely want the highest point in this case. So I would recommend you guys, that means you can get 100% of all your online homework if you keep try again. So you got 3 chances to do the multiple choice question. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, depends on the questions they have. This will be like this will be kind of like a multiple choice question. I think you got 2 or 3 chances to do that too. So but this percent you have to type in. And let's say this question you need help. I doesn't know how to do this question at all. So what you do is you go to get more help here on the bottom here. And you, oh, no, where's the help button? Sorry, not that one. They changed this. Nope. Nope. Where was? Oh, maybe it's not. There should be more textbooks that crunch. Sorry, they changed this format because it looks different. Usually they say get more help, you get that. Hey, so weird. Okay, let's see. Okay, there you go. So sometimes, so this is, oh, there you go. So if you need help, you just from me. So you just click get more help, ask my instructor. And then this is where you will type in the message. David, I'm stuck with this question. I doesn't know how to get this answer correctly. Can you help me? And then send it to me and I will reply back to you. And sometimes they got these 2 options, help me to solve this and view an example. So when you do help me to solve this, what they do is they automatically use the exactly same question, same answer, same question here. So you go through this together, you do this work and, and check your answers. This one I need calculators. So, so that's why you need calculator to do all this simple work. So 37 times 1018 divided by 100. So this is 37.666. Okay, and then count actual numbers. So actual numbers, when counting people, it cannot be what? When counting people, any person can either add 0 or 1 to the count. So in this case, the actual numbers it has to be a whole number here. The reason why is because this is talking about adults, right? You cannot have fractions of adults. Okay, so it has to be a whole number in this case. And then what will be the number that you put? So 376.66 should be close to what? 376 or 377 if you guys know how to round, right? So 376.66 is close to 377. So so this is what they do here, and then you read through it. Now, I want to point out to you guys is that this question is 37% out of 108. So when you close this, what happens is that what happens to the question? The question changed a little bit. So from 37 to 57% of 101. So the question changed a little bit, and you will still get wrong points and no points here. So if you start working on this, you will get the full point. So help me to solve this is good when you start working on the beginning and you're stuck. Like first thing first, like here, I didn't know how to do it. I will say, help me to solve this. But if you go view an example is going to be kind of the same as what you have, but your number is different. So they will do all the works for you. You just read through it. You know, it cannot be, they all have the same reason, you know. So, and they will do this. And then when you close back, your numbers doesn't change. So you use back the same number and they won't count you wrong. So I would suggest you guys that if you have clueless, you doesn't know how to do this question from the get-go, means from the beginning, I will say help me to solve this. But if you know how to do part A, because this one has 4 parts, you see that part 1 of 4. So you know how to do part A, you know how to do part B, but you doesn't know how to do part C and part D. I will recommend you to view an example and then you just move along to part C and part D. All right, this is the part that you need help, C and D. So you just read through it. And once you get it, then you just close it and you still manage to do your own part C and part D without doing any, you know, restart again. But if you know how to do part A, you know how to do part B, and when you do help me to solve this, you have to restart again, A, B, C, D. You guys know what I'm trying to say here? So for me, I would say view an example will be good if you stuck on certain parts. But if you doesn't know how to do all 4 parts, then I would say help me to solve this. And for any questions, you just go to ask my instructor and you can email me any questions you have. And again, if you get something wrong, please make sure go to the try again. Okay, there's a try again. You will get 100% on all your online. Does anyone have any questions for me here? Anyone have any questions with this? And once you are done, you just exit off, close it off, leave, and then make sure you look at here, and they will kind of keep the progress of your homework. So I did answer the first one correct. No, so make sure you keep what's going on with this progress here. Because sometimes when you go off online, you might go offline. So I would recommend you to check your points here. Okay. Anyone has any questions under homework here? Okay. Next is gradebook. Now this gradebook is just a gradebook for your online homework. This gradebook is not for the overall grade. So what is useful for this gradebook is to review for the homework. So let's say that tomorrow is a test and you want to review back all your old homeworks. So what you do is you go under gradebook and you go under review on the certain section, and then you go on the questions you need help. Again, this won't contribute anything towards your points because it's a review. So it's fixed, so you can review whatever questions you want. So this gradebook is used when you want to review the questions before the test, you know, so you got, you know, the better understanding. StatCrunch, this is the computer software that we'll be using. So what you do here is you go click on the StatCrunch, and they will say StatCrunch website. We'll be using this starting chapter 3, and then open StatCrunch. So again, you just click StatCrunch website, and then you open the StatCrunch. So this is StatCrunch looks like. It looks like Excel, and it can do a lot of it can do graphing, you can do statistic like calculating your mean and all these things. So there's a lot of stuff in here that that you do not need to calculate everything by hand or using the calculators, because when the data that you have here is not like 10 numbers, it's going to be like 500 numbers. So I don't want you to find the mean for all these 500 numbers using your calculators. But if you go under stat and calculators, there will be a summary stats, and there will be a way for you to calculate. I will show it to you. I will teach to you in the class. That's why we need a computer lab, so that you guys all have computers. So we go through this together in class. Okay, and this is all under StatCrunch. and it's free if you get the MyStatLab. Okay. The e-text is the e-textbook. So so if you click on here, and you will get the ebook in this case. So if you want to read the book, and if you don't have the physical copy of the book, you can get an ebook from here. Okay, it looks exactly like your book that we have. Okay, anyone have any questions with this? So this is mostly what same thing with chapter. I don't know why they put it. Same thing with chapter content. It's the same thing. So ebook, e-text, and chapter content, same thing. And the last thing I will point out is the multimedia library. So let's say that if you need help, let's say chapter 3, you need help in 3.1. They have PowerPoint notes here. They have videos here. So let's say that I need help with this because I didn't come to my class. So you can look at a PowerPoint, and they have a PowerPoint. I don't use the PowerPoint, but you can you can use it. It's free because it's all here. So so if you use a so you get a PowerPoint presentation here from this chapter 3. It looks exactly like 3.1. So yeah, it's so you can download this, and if you want to. Again, this is all under multimedia library, and it also can have videos, video lecturing. So if you are not, if you miss my class, you just go on to here and then go to measure of center, and you got videos. It's like a 14 minutes long video on this section, and you can always watch again and move around and stuff like that. So so this is how we do this. If you need any notes or any videos from the textbook, you can always go under multimedia library here, and you got all the chapters and all the sections that you're asking for. Anyone, any questions for me here? So this is all under MyStatLab. So announcement and assignment. Yep, go for it, Casey.
Do you know if we can like print the ebook off of that?
I would not recommend you to print it. You can, but that you can print an ebook, yes. But I will recommend just use it here.
Okay.
And if you really want to print it, then I recommend you to buy the whole bundle like Lawrence did. Because this one is like, I don't know how many pages long, like 500 pages long. So, so I would recommend, if you want it, I would recommend just buy the whole bundle, like what Lawrence did, the bundle with the book and the code.
His bundle, is it, because I saw it, like, does it come in separate pages, or because I thought it was like an actual book where it's like.
So Lawrence paid $170 for the loose leaf pages.
Oh, okay.
If you want an actual book, it's going to be like $200 to $250, $250.
Okay.
It's very expensive. I would recommend. Go for it.
Sorry. Well, I was planning on printing at work because my boss doesn't care. So.
And the other thing is, when you print something out from here, there will be a little like a slash saying that this is from Pearson or something else.
Yeah. Oh, I know that when you print it, it limits you to like 5 pages a day. Do you know if this limits you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. You can download it. I know you can print it. I don't know how many pages you can print, but okay. I can tell you that the printing, where is it? There is a legal stuff when you print pages. I know that print page. Yeah, I know. I would recommend just get both if you want, and you can tell. So they have this Pearson do not distribute. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that little circle with the P is going to be on all pages.
Oh.
So I would not recommend you to print it. It will be like this chop everywhere. That the P chop.
Lawrence, can I borrow your book to print it?
I do have an extra copy. If you want to print it, I can have. I have extra. You can.
Yeah, sure, you can. I mean, you can. Yeah, why not?
I just asked for me. Casey just asked for me. I'll just, because he might need to use it for his.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we could make an arrangement. And give it
yeah,
to
but I would recommend.
Yeah,
I would really recommend just use the ebook, because printing will be a lot of work. I can tell you that.
Okay. Sometimes like when I read stuff online, because I deal with computers all, like at work,
I know
and
what
it
you
gives
mean.
me like that headache.
I know what
So,
you mean. I know.
yeah.
When I read books, I want to read the physical book. I don't want to read.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So I
Okay.
can tell you that, yeah, when you print something, it will have that circle thing come out.
Okay.
That's for sure. I know I
Okay.
printed it before.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think to see that little. I know it's that circle thing and the P thing. It's gonna be on all this one. This logo is gonna be. So I would recommend you. If you want the book, I will. I have a copy of it, so you can borrow it. I think I have a few copies, so just return it back to me after class. After
Cool.
this semester. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Just remind me on Wednesday. So that will be all for. Anyone have any more questions with the MyStatLab here? Okay, so we're going to talk about session 1 because your homework is 1.1.1.2.1.3, so the whole chapter 1. So we're going to talk about chapter 1 here. So we're not going to do a lot. We're going to see how much we're going to have 10 minutes left here, 10-15 minutes. So we'll do introductions to statistics. So this is talk about statistic and critical thinking. So we start with data. So data is collections of observations. It can be numbers. It can be non-numbers like gender, male, female is not numerical. It can be any measurements that we ask for, like your height, your weight. So make sure data is for plural, so that means a lot. Datum is for singular. So usually we don't do singular data because one data doesn't represent everyone. So we should use a lot of data here. Then we have statistic, which is the class that you're taking right now, which is it's a kind of a science and math where you obtain your data, you analyze it, and then you draw a conclusion based on the data. So this is what we do in this class. Like obtain data is chapter 2, analyzing is chapter 3 and 5, and then conclusion is like chapter 7, 8, 9. So like every chapter has a part of it. When we talk about population is a complete restriction of all the measurements and data to be studied. I'm boxing out this all here is because in your homework, in your test, when you see the word all, it represents population. Okay. If I don't use the word all on it, I will use a huge amount of numbers. So for example, if I'm talking about North Hennepin students, if I say 15,000 students, then this is population because it's a lot of people. 50,000 is a lot of people. So if I give a huge amount, or if I use the word all students at NHCC, then this is also population. The word all represent population. When you have the sample is actually a collection from the population. So that means it's a part of a population here. Is usually sample is a bit smaller number. So instead of 15,000 students, I will say 200 students. So this will be your sample. Okay. So make sure you understand that this 200 students come from the population. And populations doesn't mean that everyone is involved. So it does have what we call as restrictions on it. So for example, when we talk about students, teachers is not included, right? Maybe part-time students is not included because there are restrictions on it. So maybe we are not talking about only full-time students, or maybe you're talking about some PSEO students, are not included. So that's why when you talk about population, we always have restrictions on it and to figure out what kind of people involved here. Same thing with elections. When you talk about elections, not everyone, not all of us can go for the elections. There are restrictions on it. Like you have to be 18 years old? Is it 18 or 21? I think it's 18, right? Anyone know how old you need to vote for elections?
18.
18. So you have at least 18 years old. You have to be U.S. citizen. You have to register to vote, and you have no felony, right? Something like that. So there are restrictions. So if you fulfill the restriction, then you're part of the population. So that is, so you just need to know that there are restrictions involved, and make sure sample always comes from the population. Census is the data comes from every member of the population. So usually we cannot collect everyone from the population. For example, I cannot call 15,000 students, Northampton students, and ask them, about tuition increase or ask them about this and that. The reason why I cannot call this many people, one, time consuming, two, cost a lot of money, and three, not everyone is going to be participate, right? If I call someone else, someone will say, I'm not free. I cannot force them to. No, you need to spend 5 minutes with me. So, so what we do is you can perform a census. A census is where you try your best to get the population, but mostly census is around 80% of the population. So it's not exactly 100%, 70 to 80%. So we consider a population, but we don't collect all of them. So we kind of collect 80%, which is considered good. And usually a census, the US census done every 10 years. So not every, because it costs a lot of money. So mostly all the country census takes around every 10 years. So make sure you guys have a census, make sure you submit your data to them, because it's very important. The next thing we talk about is when you get data from this. So let's say I collect these 200 students from this population of Northampton students. Make sure that the word random selection is there. What's the meaning when I say random selection? Means that the computer will randomly pick 200 students so I can call them and ask them about tuition increase and all those things. And so let's say that I call Lawrence. And the computer picked Lawrence. So I say, okay, I call Lawrence. The first thing I ask Lawrence, say, I'm calling from Northampton. Do you have 10 minutes for a survey? Now, if Lawrence say no, I cannot force Lawrence to say yes, right? So if Lawrence say no, so what happens? I will put in the computer no. So what happens is that the computer will automatically generate another student that have the same characteristic as Lawrence, which is African American male. In the age between 20 to 30, something like that. So it will be exactly the same characteristic as Lawrence, and I will call this person, and let's say this is John, that have exactly the same. And if John say I'm not free, the computer will pick another person that have the same characteristic as Lawrence and John. So because those characteristics are very important for us, and we do not want to lose that. So it's a lot of work, but the computer will do it for us. So we're not going to do it by hand. So that is what we call as random selection. Okay. And the reason why we use the word random here is to prevent bias. So we do not want to have any bias going on. So that's the reason why that, so we will use what we call as a random selections in this case. Okay. Then we talk about a few steps here. So when you get your data, the first thing is your data needs to have a context. What is a context? This is a context. So let's say that you got a data and you always have something like, let's say 80, 71, 35, 42, 90. What? If I just give this kind of numbers with, this is no context. Context means what is these numbers are, okay? So this maybe can be a temperature, or this maybe can be a test score, right? So this is what we call as your context. So data without context is meaningless, okay? And how do we put context in your StatCrunch? It's very easy. Where's my StatCrunch? You just click on the var one, and then you just type test score, or var two, gender. So this is how you name your context in StatCrunch. You just click on the var, and then type whatever context you want in there, and that will be your context. Okay, so that's how you do your context. In this case, it's very not too bad. And make sure you have that's called description of data. And then the source, where is the data come from? Is the source likely to be reputable. That means that do you trust the source? Usually like anything with self-studies, a source come from a self-study is a biased one, no means no good. What I mean by self-study is, let's say you go to a cigarette company and you're asking about secondhand smoking, or you're asking about is nicotine good for you? So usually the cigarette company will say, no, secondhand smoking, no such thing exists. Because why? Because it's self-study. Self-study means that you're coming from a cigarette company and the cigarette company wants to sell their product. And if you say, oh, secondhand smoking is harmful, no one will buy the product. So they always will, say something very positive towards their brand, so that the product can be sold. So that is all bias, and that is what we call as a self-study in this case. So make sure you read through the source and where it comes from. Is it trustworthy? And then sampling method is how we collect the sample. So if you have a voluntary response sample, means that the respondents are voluntary to give us the result. This is also bias, means no good. Okay. It's called flawed sometimes. Examples of voluntary is internet posts, mail-in posts, and telephone call-in posts. So what I mean by that is internet posts, you can tell that when you go on internet sometimes, yes, especially YouTube, they ask you, do you have a few minutes to go through the survey, right? Mail-in posts, you get tons of mails, like, hey, you send me this, I give you $5. Those are mail-in posts, and a lot of you throw it away. And telephone call-in posts, this is done by, if you look at like CNN or ABC or MNS, all this big TV station, they always say, call this number and press 1 for yes and press 2 for no, something like that. That is what we call as telephone call-in posts. This are what we call as voluntary response sample, and this is flawed, means it's biased, no good. Okay. A random sample is same thing as random selection, is where everyone has an equal chance of being selected. This is sound, or this is not biased at all. How do we do random sampling? Your computer can do that. Okay, so your computer can do what we call as a random generate random people. Sometimes you draw names from a hat. This is for a smaller group. So if I have like 20 of you guys, I will say, okay, I'm going to pick 2 students and do this. And how do I do it? I put your name in your hat and I draw 2 students randomly. So those are usually what we've done. Sometimes we flip a coin. Okay, so if I want to put, this in group A and the other part in students in group B, I just flip a coin. Head is group A, tail is group B, something like that. So these are all done randomly. So it's for a lot of people, big population, we use computer. A small population, we can manually do it. Okay, we'll finish up the analyze here. Graph.
Wait, I have a quick question for you. Is that okay? I don't understand how the voluntary response sample could be biased or flawed. Like, wouldn't random sampling be the same thing too? Because, for example, if you have 2 people, like you said, where you draw from a hat, wouldn't that kind of be like voluntary response too?
No, everyone is participating there. So I put all the name in the hat, all your names in the hat.
But
for
I mean,
us,
but wouldn't that just be biased also? Because if you already know these people, and
I'm selecting 2 students and going to bring these 2 students to, let's say I'm going to pick 2 students and bring me, and I will cover the whole expense to Vegas. So which 2 students should I pick? Should I close my eyes and point? That will be biased, right?
Yeah, but
and what happens if Casey, you say pick me, that will be voluntary response sample, because you voluntary to be included.
But when those 2 people that you're gonna pick, or that you're gonna put in a name, put in a hat, wouldn't they kind of be like voluntary also? Everyone, because they're volunteering?
Everyone is put in the hat.
Okay.
So when you have a
Okay.
voluntary, this is for all the names in the hat.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
not like selected students.
Mm,
This is every
Okay.
student is in the hat name. Then I pick 2 out from there. And then
Okay.
you'll be like, oh, this is not fair. This is, they will say fair, not fair, right? So if
Mhm.
only like 5 of you put your name in the hat, then definitely you're voluntary because only 5 of you will be I mean, you know what I mean? So this is
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about
That makes
everyone
sense.
in the hat. So yeah.
I just thought maybe the voluntary and the random were kind of like, like they were kind of together, together.
2
because
different
you-
things. Yep.
Yeah.
Like the telephone call in post, when you see where it says CNN, say call this number to talk about right now vaccine. Do you guys want to receive vaccine or not? Type 1, call this number, press 1 for yes and 2 for no anti-vax and all those people. So a lot of people call in will be those who are affected by it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So a lot of people who did not affected by it will not call in. So those are what we call as. So that's why it's biased, because not everyone is involved. Those people who call in either is very affected positively or very affected negatively. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Those who are not
That makes
affected
sense.
at all, they don't call in. Same thing with handguns and all handguns control and all those things. People who call in usually is, they are
Yeah.
that one way or the other, way far left or way far right. They don't. The one in the middle is like we usually don't call in. So that's
Okay.
why it's bias in this case. Right, we'll finish up these last 2. So there are a few types of graph that you will learn, but you're not learning how to graph it. You're learning how to read it. So the bar graph, the pie chart, the histogram, the dot plots, box plot, and scatter plot. So you will learn this in chapter 2. So chapter 2, you will learn about all these types of graph. And then you will learn about the important statistic like the mean, the median, the mode, the standard deviation. This you will learn in chapter 3. Okay, so mean, probably know median, but maybe you would know a bit outliers, but standard deviation and the different type of distribution, you all will learn this in chapter 3. And again, you do not need to draw the graphs. Your computer will draw it for you, but make sure you know how to read the graphs. And again, I will teach you how to read the graphs, so don't worry about that. And what kind of statistical method we use? Right now, we use a lot of technologies to do it. So we don't draw the graph by hand. We don't do anything by hand. Usually it's all done computerized. So what we do is after we got the analysis, you just want to figure out that is the results is sound or not. Okay, so you want to figure out again, is this biased or not? So sometimes you have to use common sense to figure out, is this good or bad? Just use your own judgment. Okay, so don't let other people affect your thinking. Okay, example like right now is a big one for female is the reproductive. So some what we call that. What's the one that big one for girls with female? Is that reproductions and abortion? So don't let politicians to cloud your thinking about, oh, abortion is bad, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is your body, right? So it's you who is involved here, not the politician or not someone else, because that's you, that's your body. So you want it all on your own. So make sure that this is on your. So I want to tell you here is make sure you use common sense and make sure you use your own thinking to think about it. So not just let someone affect what you think. You know what I'm trying to say here? So this is mostly I'm trying to teach you guys so that you guys got this on your own. That's why you learn this. There are some stuff also that are statistically different, but you will learn it later on. So we're gonna stop here today. So my homework for you guys is 1. So make sure you register to Course Compass, this one. And then start working on your homework. So go under assignment and start working, because there are 3 homework due on Wednesday, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. I would recommend you guys to try this. It's not that tough. It's like 30 to 40 minutes to finish the work. Most of them are multiple choice. We will continue this on Wednesday in class. So make sure you bring your laptop. So if you have any questions to register this, to register to MyStatLab, also bring it your access code so I can help you with it on Wednesday. Okay. So do you have any questions for me before we end the Zoom here? Time is it? Yeah, it's 5:52. I'm going to start recording.